Yeah, it started.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday we discussed S3 Amazon Simple Storage Service, which is a storage service. From today, we will be discussing a new topic, that is Amazon Route 53. Before getting into Amazon Route 53, we have to know what is this service. Now, here you can see Route 53. This is a part of a networking and content delivery service. We already discussed what is networking and content delivery service, what are the categories present in this, and why we use this. We also discussed another service, that is virtual private cloud, which we use when we require resource isolation. Coming to Route 53, we use Route 53 when we require a DNS system. How many of you know what DNS system is, domain name system is? So let us before learn what domain name system is. Domain name system is a naming database in which internet domain names are located and translated into IP addresses. For every website, there must be a name, right? Uh, we people identify a website through names, while as computers identify a website through IP addresses. So this domain name system converts or translates the naming into IP addresses and maps us with the suitable or the thing we search it for. So the DNS domain name system maps the name people use to locate a website to IP addresses that a computer uses to locate a website. So for a domain name system, the main service we use in this Amazon Web Services is Route 53. So to access Route 53, you have to log into your AWS Management Console, and in AWS Management Console, we have to get into a service networking and content delivery, and here we have an option Route 53. So Nav, what is a Route 53? So this is a dashboard of Route 53 where we have different resources like different options like DNS management, domain name system management, traffic management, while traffic is incoming or outgoing requests to our servers. And we can also monitor the availability, that is we can monitor where our servers or data is present. We can also register our domains. Uh, Registering domains in the sense we can allot names for our domains. So first let us learn what this Route 53 is. So here, Amazon Route 53 is a highly available and scalable cloud domain name system web service, where DNS domain name system is a naming database in which internet domain names are located. It is used to translate from name system to IP address system. So Amazon Route 53 is highly scalable and highly available cloud where domain name system web service is available. It Amazon Route 53 is designed to give developers and businesses an extremely reliable and cost effective way to route end users to internet applications by translating names like example.com into numeric IP addresses like 192.0. So as you can see here, for every website we have names. So these names are, let us suppose amazon.com is a name. This name is consisted in Route 53 or DNS domain name system, and domain name system translates amazon.com into a IP address that a computer uses for identification of a website. Suppose that our here our domain name is example.com. So using domain name system, we can translate this example.com into numeric IP addresses like 192.0.2.1. This IP addresses 192.0.2.1 are used by computers to connect with each other. Apart from these, Amazon Route 53 is fully compliant with IPv6 as well. There are two types of IP addresses. One is IP addresses types. One is IPv4 and the other one is IPv6. We already discussed what IPv4 is and what IPv6 is. Let me remind you again. IPv4 refers to 32-bit address IP address, and IPv6 is a 128-bit IP addresses, and IPv6 is alphanumeric while as IPv4 is numeric. Now using Amazon Route 53 we can access this IPv6 as well. Apart from these, Amazon Route 53 effectively connects user requests to infrastructure running in AWS such as Amazon EC2 instances, Elastic Load Balancing, load balancers, or Amazon S3 buckets, and can also be used to route users to infrastructure outside of AWS. Now, we all use it so far. These days, we have been using different types of things like we have discussed what EC2 instances are. We have discussed what Elastic Load Balancing, what are load balancers, what are Amazon S3 buckets. So all these things can be routed, can be identified using Amazon Route 53. And not only this, the things that are outside of AWS can also be consisted into infrastructure of Amazon Route 53. For example, domain names like facebook.com, different thing, greeks.com, everything can be identified and can be included in this infrastructure using Amazon Route 53. Now, getting back to dashboard of Route 53, here in this dashboard, we can register a domain. That is, if you want to create a new domain name, if I want to create a domain in name of Shoaib, like shoaib.com, then we can do that. We can register my domain using this option, domain registration. I can also monitor where my data or domain is available, in which region or in which availability zone my domain name is available. Coming to traffic management, after creating my domain name, I'll be creating a website, right? I can also monitor and manage all the incoming traffic while as outgoing traffic through this Route 53 dashboard. Another one is DNS management system. After registering my domain name, I can also manage it through this Route 53. Here there are different options like hosted zones, health checks, which define us with what are the important, what are the working websites we are using, and hosted zones are the zones where we place our domains. Now, we can use Amazon Route 53 to configure DNS health checks to route traffic to healthy endpoints or to independently monitor the health of our application and its endpoints. Now, Amazon Route 53 traffic flow, here you can see traffic management, traffic flow. This traffic flow makes it easy to manage traffic globally through a variety of routing types, including latency-based routing, GeoDNS, geo-proximity, and weighted round robin. All of these can be combined with DNS and in order to enable variety of low latency fault tolerant. So here, this one hosted zones, we can host our website wherever in this world using this hosted zone. Coming to traffic flow, traffic policies and the policy records are present in traffic flow, and this traffic flow enables us to manage traffic globally. We can manage all the incoming traffic or the outgoing traffic. That is, incoming means the responses, the requests we get for our website. Outgoing traffic means the outgoing responses we give to customers. So all this traffic can be managed globally through a variety of routing types, like we are provided with latency based routing. That means latency based routing, and GeoDNS, where we can place our DNS domain name system throughout the world, geo-proximity, and weighted round robin. All of these can be combined with DNS failover in order to enable a variety of low latency fault tolerant architectures. So using this Amazon Route 53 traffic flows, simple visual editor. There is an option in traffic flow, traffic policies simple visual editor. We can easily manage how our end users are routed to our applications. So here, in this traffic flow, we have an option in visual editor, right? This visual editor can be easily managed on how our end users are routed to our applications endpoints, whether in a single AWS region or distributed around the globe. Let me explain you. Suppose we have created a domain in the name of our company BAIM.com. So using this traffic flow, by getting into traffic policies, we can create a traffic policy. Now here we have an option called visual editor. In this visual editor, we can place things where people can get by searching our domain name. So that's about this visual editor. There are different traffic policies versions, policy records. Here you can see the complete flow graph of traffic flow. First we have a type, then we have a follower rule, then a weighted rule, then these weighted rules are redirected into endpoints. There is primary follower rule, the second one secondary follower rule. Here we check everything is checked by health checks. Health checks ensure that our websites are working properly. Now another thing about Amazon Route 53 is this also offers domain name registration. We can purchase and manage domain names such as shoaib.com or bam.com, and Amazon Route 53 will automatically configure DNS settings for our domains. So let us get back into dashboard. So here in the dashboard, we have different options like DNS management, traffic management, availability monitoring, and domain registration. Now by using this domain registration, we have to here. Let me check if here. For registering my domain, I have entered my name, and here you can see that this name could not determine because it is already booked by someone else. Here you can see what are the domain name suggestions, and you can see all these names are pre-booked and we can't access them. Here in this domain search, we can have the price for 1 year, and we can have an action like if you want to buy a thing or not. There are different types of domains like .com, .uk, .en, .eu, .eu, for India, right? For everything we have a separate cost, like as you can see here for .com the cost is $12, .net $11, .org $12, .com.au for Australia, this is for Australia, $15, .uk for United Kingdom's $9, io.info, .co. There are different types of domain names. All these domain names have different costs per year. So these are different. There are many domain targets for everything. Now let us get back. So that is how we register for a domain name. So that's why we use Amazon Route 53. I hope everyone is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now.
No.
So yes. So Amazon Route 53, let me brief you again. Amazon Route 53 is highly available and scalable cloud domain name system web services. It translates the names like example.com into numeric IP addresses like 192.0. Something. This is used for computers. We people identify websites using names, while as computers identify a website using these IP addresses. And DNS Amazon Route 53 ensures to translate this domain name systems into translates IP names into IP addresses. We can also access IPv6 using Amazon Route 53, and we can also access different things present in Amazon AWS, such as EC2 instances, load balancers, Amazon S3 buckets. And we can also use the route things infrastructure to include into the infrastructure that are present outside the AWS, Amazon Web Services. So that's all about Amazon Route 53. Coming to dashboard, here we have in the dashboard we have different options like DNS management, traffic management, availability management, domain registration. We discussed everything. We also saw how to register a domain, and now let us discuss these things. Hosted zones tells us about where we can have our zones hosted, in which region we can have our websites. Health checks define the healthy websites. That means the websites that are active or working. Coming to traffic flow has two different things. One is traffic policies and policy records. We saw what are different things present in traffic policies. We have a visual editor which through which we can access our customers to the endpoint of our website. Coming to domains, we can register domains, and we here in pending request we can see whether our domain is registered or not. This resolver has VPCs, inbound endpoints, outbound endpoints, rules. All these are useful to integrate other services present in Amazon Web Services, that is AWS. So far we discussed what is Amazon Route 53. Now, coming to benefits of Amazon Route 53, there are three main benefits for this. One is it is highly available and reliable. The second one is it is flexible. And the third one is this Amazon Route 53 is designed for users with designed for users with other AWS services that are like EC2 instances or load balancers. All of them can be used through this Route 53. Now, the first one is highly available and reliable. Amazon Route 53 is built using AWS highly available and reliable infrastructure. The distributed nature of our DNS servers helps ensure a ability to route our end users to our application. It sets a path for between our website and our customers who access our website. Now, apart from these, features such as traffic flow help us improve reliability with easy configuration of failover to reroute our users to an alternate location if our primary application endpoint becomes available. We place using health zone or hosted zones. We can place our website all over the world in any region we want in this world. Now, using traffic management and policies, we can ensure that suppose the region in US got affected, then we can easily redirected our users from US to UK using this traffic management. So this ensures high availability as well as high reliability. Now, Amazon Route 53 is designed to provide the level of dependability required by important applications, and Amazon Route 53 is backed up by Amazon Route 53 service level agreement. So this is about high availability and reliability. Using the main benefit is this Route 53, we can have through this Route 53 we can have high availability as well as reliability, because if one region where our website is placed gets crashed or gets destroyed, then we can easily redirect our users from that region to another region. So through this we can say our Route 53 is highly available and reliable. Coming to the second benefit, that is flexible. Amazon Route 53 traffic flow routes traffic based on multiple criteria such as endpoint health, geographic location, and latency. We can configure multiple traffic policies and decide which policies are active at any given time. And we can create and edit traffic policies using the simple visual editor in a Route 53 console. Here, traffic flows versioning feature maintains a history of changes to our traffic policies, so we can easily roll back to our previous version using the console of API. So this ensures that our Route 53 is flexible. We can easily transfer from a previous version to a current version using this Route 53. And the third point is designed for use with other Amazon Web Services. As we discussed earlier, Amazon Route 53 is also used for getting the infrastructure like EC2 instances, load balancers, buckets. All these are integrated, and this Route 53 is designed for using other Amazon Web Services also. Now, Amazon Route 53 is designed to work well with Amazon features and offerings. We can use Amazon Route 53 to map domain names to our Amazon EC2 instances, Amazon S3 buckets, Amazon CloudFront distributions, and other Amazon resources. By using AWS Identity and Access Management services with Amazon Route 53, we can get a fine-grained control over update DNS data. Now, apart from any doubts, you can ask me now. Now, we discussed benefits like highly available and reliable, flexible, designed for using other services present in AWS. Now, let us see what are the different things present in this dashboard's hosted zones. For creating a hosted zones, we first have to create a EC2 web server instance. We saw how to create a web server instance in the previous classes while we discussed the compute service. Now, after creating that EC2 instance, we have to create a load balancer for our EC2 instance. And after creating that load balancer, we will be getting a domain name for our website. So that domain name will be displayed here, and we can create a hosted zone for our domain name and all over the world. Here, while I click on hosted zone, first it asks me for a domain name where we have to give a domain name that we created for our EC2 instance web server. Now, description is an optional thing. Now, the second one is public hosted zone or private hosted zone. So there are two different types of hosted zones. One is a public hosted zone and the second one is a private hosted zone. A public hosted zone is used when we require an internet connection for our hosted zones. Here, determine how traffic is routed on the internet. So if we don't require an internet connection, then we'll be transferring into private hosted zone. So the first one is public hosted zone. Here in public hosted zone, we have nothing. We just have to tag that is optional, and by clicking on create hosted zone, our hosted zone gets created. In the private hosted zones, as private hosted zones is not connected to the internet, we must ensure that it is attached to a virtual private cloud. So generally we use a private subnet when we don't require internet connection to our resources present in virtual private cloud. In the similar way, if we don't require internet connection, if we want a hosted zone that we can access locally, then we use this private hosted zone. So for this private hosted zone, we have to give a region and a VPC ID that we created. After creating, we can also add numerous VPCs in this private hosted zone. After adding all the things, if you want to give any tags, you can give them, or if you don't want to, you don't have to give them. Now, after you just have to click on create hosted zone. So that is how we create a hosted zone. for creating a hosted zone, we should first create Amazon EC2 instance through this EC2 dashboard. We have to create that, and after creating EC2 instance, we have to create a load balancer for our EC2 instance. We discussed how to create all the things, and after creating all of them, we can create a hosted zones by clicking on create hosted zone. Now the second one is health checks. Here we can't access this because for health checks we have to create a hosted zone first. So this health checks ensure that our website is working or not. What we have to do is we have to just give a domain name of our website. Then it checks first. Then it gives result in which results like healthy or unhealthy. Healthy means all the websites or all the regions where our website is working, while as unhealthy refers to the websites or the regions or where our domain or website is not working. Now coming to traffic flow, this is used to manage traffic globally all over the world. In traffic policies, we have an option called create a traffic policy. As you can see, we have three different concepts in this traffic policies. One is visual editor, traffic policy versions, policy records. If we want to create a traffic policy, we just have to create, and we have to give a policy name. We have to give a version and version description, and by clicking on next, we will be created with a traffic policy. The second thing in traffic flow is policy record. Here in policy records, after creating a traffic policies, all your policies will be visible here. By clicking on them, we can access this, and we can also create a policy record using an option called create policy records. Here just we have to give a policy record, and we have to give a DNS name, and here we can see the pricing we have for our DNS name, and by clicking on create policy records, we can create a policy record. Now coming to domains, we can do two things. We can register our domain. The second one is we can manage our domain. Now the first one is registered domains. This section, registered domains, displays all the domains we have registered for our website. If we want to transfer a domain, we can do that. If we want to have a detailed domain building report, then we can have that using this domain building report. So we have to just click on register domain. There are two ways. One I showed in the beginning, that is you have to, in the Amazon Route 53 dashboard, you have an option called the domain name. There you can click and check. Now here we have to give a name, and here we have to tag a preceding thing. We can choose anything we want. Let me search for a domain. So we can see everything in my name is already registered. So this is how we first check. We check for a price, and then if we want to buy, here you have an option in action. And then if you want to buy, we can buy this domain. Now coming to pending requests, in this request will be showed whether our domain is registered or not. Now this is all about Route 53 dashboard. I hope everyone is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Now let us move on to another topic, that is Route 53 best practices. In order to maintain a Route 53 in a best way, we have to follow some follow some rules. Let us discuss what those rules are. Now these are the 4 best practices in which a Route 53 can be maintained perfectly or without an error. The 4 things are name server delegation, TTL resource record sets, alias records versus a CNAME. The 4th one is minimize latency. Now coming to the first one, name server delegation. Route 53 hosted zone assigns a delegation set of 4 name servers .com, .name, .org and .co.uk. We have to update our registers name server configuration with all of these name servers to provide maximum availability. We must know which name to use and why should we use. We have to know what is the price and what are the name server delegation we have using. Now the second one is a TTL resource records. These resource records can benefit from a lower TTL value, and for long TTLs we have to resolve our DNS. DNS resolver take longer to request updated DNS records. If we want to move from one domain to another domain, then we have to update our DNS records. That is this TTL resource record sets. The third one is alias record name. Alias records versus the CNAME. When configuring resource record sets that route DNS queries to AWS resources, use alias records. Alias in the sense a different name for our domain. Alias record sets are free of charge and we can use anytime we want and anything we want. So we have two options in using names. One is a CNAME and the second one is alias records. Generally, we prefer alias records because alias record sets are free of charge. So that's about alias records. The last one is minimize latency. So we have to use latency or location routing policies to provide users with the best responses times. We also have to use health checks to ensure users are rerouted to healthy instances during our outage. So coming to geolocation, if someone is searching our website in UK, then we have to ensure that we have to show them data related to UK, United Kingdom. If he is searching from India, then we have to ensure that we show him data related to India, right? So we must do this, and for doing this we have an option called geolocation routing policies. We have to use them in order to minimize latency. Now apart from this, we have to regularly check for health checks because these health checks ensure where our website is working, where our domain is working. If it is not working in that region, we can reroute our users to another healthy region where our data is working. So these four are the best practices we can follow to maintain our Route 53 in a best way. I hope everyone is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. So let me brief you again. These are the four things. One is name server delegation. The second one TTL resource records. The third one alias records, minimize latency. Coming to name server location, we have delegation. We have to know which domain are we using and in which region are we using and which domain delegation like .com, .net, .org, what we have to use. Coming to TTL records, we have to update all the DNS records regularly. There are two options. One is CNAME and the second one is alias records. Generally, we have to use alias records as it is free of charge. Coming to minimizing latency, we must ensure that we are providing our users with data related to the region in which he is. We can use geolocation routing policies for this. Apart from this, we also have to health check regularly because this ensures where our website is working and where it is not. If it is not working, then we can reroute our users into another website where it is healthy. So these are Route 53 best practices. Now let us move to another topic, that is costs of Route 53. Here there are four different types of costs in Route 53. Coming to hosted zones, we saw what hosted zones are. We are costed per hosted zone per month. If we create a hosted zone in UK, then the charge is different and we are charged per month. If we create a hosted zone in India, then our charge is different and we are charged per month as well. Coming to traffic flow, cost per traffic flow policy month. In traffic flow, we create traffic policies, right? For each traffic policies, we are charged and this is also charged per month. The third one is DNS queries. These DNS queries are charged per million queries. The cost varies depending on the type of routing policies we use. If the DNS queries are more, then the charge is more. If it is low, then our charge is low. The fourth one, health checks. Health checks ensure where our website is working, where our website is not working. So this is also costed per month and per health check. So coming to discounts, if the number of hosted zones we are using is increased, then our discount is also increased, so our cost decreases. If we are using less number of hosted zones, then our cost will be around, and we will not have discounts. So that's all about the costs in Route 53. So that is all about Route 53. I hope everyone is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Now, let me brief you the complete today's class. We discussed what DNS server is. Domain name system translates the names which are used by we people for identifying a website into IP addresses which are used by computers to identify a website. So this Amazon Route 53 is highly available and scalable cloud domain name system, and it is designed for developers and businesses. And we can also access IPv6, and we can also access different services like EC2 instances, load balancers, S3 buckets through this Amazon Route 53. We can also add things that are outside of AWS into Route 53. We have different things in Route 53 dashboard like DNS management, where we can manage our domain name system. We can have a traffic management like traffic flow, where we have a traffic policies, policy records, and using this we can reroute our customers. We can also monitor our availability, and we can also register our domain name. Coming to hosted zones, these are the regions where our websites are present, and health checks ensure whether our website is working in a particular region or not. Apart from this, there are three main benefits of using this Route 53. One is highly available and reliable. The second one, it is flexible. The third one, it is designed for using other Amazon Web Services like EC2 instances, load balancers, and S3 buckets. Coming to creation, I also showed how to create a host zone, how to create a traffic policy, how to register domains. The cost is different for each domain and each zone. Apart from this, to create a host zone, we have to first create a EC2 web server, and we have to create a load balancer for that EC2 instance. Coming to best practices, there are 4 ways we must ensure so that our Route 53 is perfect. One is name server delegation. The second one, TTL resource records. Name server delegation in the sense we have to know which domain delegation we are using, like .com, .org, .net. And TTL resource record, we have to update all the DNS names. And coming to alias records, we have to use alias records in place of CNAME, because alias records are free of charge. Coming to minimize latency, we have to ensure that our users are providing with the data related to their region. We can do this using geolocating routing policies, and we have to ensure that health checks are being done. Coming to cost, there are 4 things. For hosted zones, we are costed per hosted zone per month. Coming to traffic flow, we are costed per traffic flow per month. Coming to DNS requires, we are charged per million queries, and the cost varies depending on the type of routing policies used. Coming to health checks, cost per month and per health check. Coming to discounts, if the hosted zones are increased, then cost will be decreased. If the hosted zones are less, then cost will be more. So that's all about Route 53. We have completed this service called Route 53. Tomorrow, so far we discussed many of the services, EC2, S3, VPC, Route 53, and tomorrow we'll be starting a new topic, IAM, Identity Access Management. So that's it for today. I hope everyone understood and everyone is clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, and you can text me if you have any doubts. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you.